welcome back, guys, to our third episode. Today's topic is going to be about time travel. How crazy is that?
Time travel.
Time travel and
Ooh.
how it might affect other aspects of our reality. Um, so our answer to our last episode's riddle is echo. At the end of this episode, we'll have another riddle for you, and
Uh-oh. There are things in the past I would like to go to, but stuff was really smelly back then.
it was really
It was
smelly back then. I watch old
so it
movies
wasn't
and
very clean.
I'm like, it would stink so bad back then. You watch movies and they have like the intimate scenes, and you're like, that person hasn't showered
Ew.
and like,
They go in there and they pay 50 cents for a bath, and the
yeah,
water is just gross.
so gross. So time travel, when you think about where you would go and why you would go there, mine is very basic.
Well, I would want to go into the future far enough so that I could do space travel while I was there.
Like go into space.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or possibly another planet, like Mars or something.
Yeah, I'm not that ambitious. Everything that I care about is in this time. So going to another time for me is just weird. I mean, it's like moving to another state. Like I don't really want to move to another state because then I'll be like away from my kids and my grandkids and stuff like that. So my time travel would consist of basically just jumping a week, getting my lottery ticket numbers, and then come back and win, and then take care of my family so we
Well,
can live our
it is only
timeline the best.
temporary. It's tourism, so it's like a vacation. You're going to come back.
Yeah,
So you're not leaving your kids forever.
yeah, but you got to think of
You're just going out of town.
how long does it take to get to space though? Like what you're talking about would take like time.
In the future, they might be able to use wormholes and stuff like that.
Mm, I see what you're saying. All right, so we were looking into. I've just been. I did started doing a lot of research. I started going down this rabbit hole, and we were talking about the time travel, and it's kind of intriguing uh, when you look up the possibilities of stuff like that. And I ran into that article about John Titor, who is like
Right.
one of the most talked about time travelers on the internet, basically. And he has a lot of
I
like,
ain't never heard of them before this.
I've never heard of him before this either, but we also are not like time traveler connoisseurs either.
Enthusiasts?
Yeah. We don't really think about it. But once you start thinking about it, then you see all these things that like kind of coincide, and how he um, is kind of connected to CERN, and
Right.
that's crazy. CERN scares me.
Yeah. Well, that lady, Cynthia Sue Larson, when she turned the CERN back on the third time,
Yeah.
because they turned it off, and she turned it on with the intention that she would be looking for reality shifts and Mandela effects. But she didn't find any actual evidence that CERN had anything to do with the Mandela effects.
You can go on the internet
Okay.
and you can look up that the Monopoly Man doesn't have a monocle. Yeah, you can look
Right.
that up, but people remember him having a monocle. A lot
Yeah,
of
I
people
think,
remember this.
but I think a lot of them are confusing him with Mr. Peanut, who has a
See, but that's
monocle.
just your opinion. A lot of people
I just said I
firmly,
think.
firmly believe that he had a monocle. And same thing with
But
the fruit of the loom cornucopia. People
if
firmly believe that it had a cornucopia.
yeah, but if you ask Monopoly, Parker Brothers, they will tell you that he never ever had a monocle. What timeline could he possibly have a monocle if the creator of the
The
Monopoly guy
creator in
says,
this timeline, though.
why? What would be the purpose of somebody creating him with a monocle when in this timeline he has no monocle?
I don't think you understand.
I understand. I just don't understand what the purpose would be. I think it's the power of suggestion. Just like there's a couple of really stupid ones. The double stuff, right?
Yeah, I don't remember that one. I don't remember the F's or
I think
whatever. I
that
don't
a
like
lot
that
of people
cookie.
thought it was two F's because that's how stuff is spelled in reality, is spelled with two F's, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they just assumed that it would have two F's.
Yeah, I don't know that one because I don't like double stuffed cookies, so I don't think I've ever even
I
paid
don't either.
attention.
I like the thin ones because,
Same thing
and
with
even then
Jif.
I
I don't
pull
think
them
Jif.
apart and scrape that white crap off of there.
I don't remember Jif being Jiffy.
No,
I
the
remember.
Skippy.
I remember it always being Jif. But I do remember Mickey Mouse having suspenders in those old cartoons.
No,
I remember
I
that.
I looked at a picture where he had suspenders and I'm like, that looks weird because I don't ever remember him. You know, it was one that somebody made
Yeah, I think you were
to
flown in
have
from a different
suspenders.
timeline.
And I've been watching Mickey Mouse for,
I don't think I
longer
don't
than I want to
I
admit.
don't think we're from the same timeline. I think we were swapped.
Well, we're definitely not from the same generation.
No, that's true. But the Stofers, stovetop stuffing.
I think it's because Stofers and Stovetop sound the same.
Yeah, you're not a believer.
I'm just not. There might be some that are interesting, but I saw one where there was a guy, he was in a clothing store
Mhm.
and it had John Deere t-shirts,
Mhm.
and he was saying that these shirts were wrong because deer was spelt with an E at the end. It's not John Deere, it's John Deere. Well, if you look it up, it's named after the guy that founded the company. The last name is Deere with an E at the end. And remember you showed me that VW logo?
Yeah.
It actually, there are both.
Okay.
Like, if I copied or I put a picture in there that had all of the VW logos, but the only place that I could find it was on some hubcaps. The VW logo had the line, and I don't know what the purpose would be to have it different, but it was two different
I saw a
ways.
guy that had like an original VW bus or a bus, and all his hubcaps were the original hubcaps that came on it, and
Yeah.
he had lost a hubcap, and the only one that had the line in it was the one that he had to have replaced. But all the other ones didn't have a line. All his original ones did not have a line in it.
Huh. Well, I saw another guy. He had a video of an old Ford. It was a 1946 Super Deluxe,
Mhm.
right? And he was saying that the Ford logo was
Mhm.
different. Did you see that
I
video?
did see that one. Yeah.
Well, why would the one in the front be real super shiny and clean, and then the one in the back was all rusted out and
Muddy.
rusty,
Yeah.
nasty looking? Well, I looked up that somebody said exactly what that car was, and I looked at him like, yeah, that's what it was in 1940s. Neither one of those were correct. It had a different Ford logo on the both. Somebody had replaced those bumpers at some point, and it wasn't actually even on the bumper. It was on the trunk and on the hood.
Interesting.
That
Yeah.
was
Okay.
funny.
So the Sinbad movie is funny because a lot of people believe that they've seen this Sinbad movie. I remember this movie. Like, before I even saw like the VHS picture, I already knew like in my head what the VHS picture looked like.
Well, there's a genie in Aladdin, right?
Mhm.
In the animated movie Aladdin.
Mhm.
I remember Robin Williams did
Yeah.
was he the genie voice, but he kind of looks like Sinbad, the genie.
That's what you're associating that with?
I'm just saying that some people might have seen the picture of him and just assumed it was Sinbad.
I keep trying to
I
like
mean,
explain away why everybody else is crazy, but you believe in
well,
Bigfoot.
anyway, that guy had that VHS tape,
Yeah.
right? And that was supposed to be proof, but he was actually just pulling the wool over everybody's eyes because when he showed the front of it and the side of it, and then he flipped it over, and I put graphics up there.
Okay.
And if you looked at the small print down at the bottom, it said Flintstone Home Media, which there's no such thing as Flintstone Home Media, but it also said formatted to fit your timeline
Hmm.
and modified from its original universe.
I just want to say I'm embarrassed because I've been telling people I never did Shazam, and people always walk up on me, and I'm just going to tell you what happened. I did do Shazam. I'm not proud of it, but I did Shazam. I was doing a lot of crack. I was staying in crack houses, and I did Shazam for crack money. I knew it was going to be a great movie because I have no genie skills. I think most movies you have to bring something out of yourself, and I've never been a genie or had magical powers. It was a learning process for me as I was doing this movie, just getting into the lamp. I took a lot of yoga, a lot of Crisco oil to slide up into that lamp. So, I injured myself. I had a rotator cuff injury, but, I'm not crying. I'm not crying because I'm tough. For those who said, hey, you saw Suzanne when I was growing up, yeah, you did. It did exist. It took a lot of government intervention to get those videos out of people's homes and out of the video stores. I'm lucky because I'm ex-military, ex-special forces. So we were able to do a lot of mind control stuff.
All right. Well, anyways, I'm going to stick a bunch of links to all the topics that we talked about today down in the description. So if you'd like more information about the things that we've talked about, more scientific answers to the questions that you might have, click on those links and we'll definitely be able to explain them better than we can. Let us know what you think about the Mandela effects.
The person who makes it sells it. The person who buys it never uses it. The person who uses it never knows they're using it. What is it?
3, 2, 1.